Hello, future Falcons. This is Mr. Oak. I'm the principal of Stout Middle School. Normally in the spring, we have you out to the building and we try and do four things. We try and give you a building tour. We share some information with you. We talk about scheduling, how you pick your elective classes. Then we have some time for questions and answers. Since we can't do that this year, we're doing all of those things separately through virtual presentations. So today I'm going to take you on a virtual building tour. I'm going to show you all the areas of the building that you would get to see if you had been able to come to the building in person. Okay, this is the front drive of the school right here. If your parents drive you to school, this is where they will probably drop you off in the morning. They'll pull up into that front drive. You see the two cars in the picture. They'll pull off to the side, and then you'll just get out on the sidewalk there and come in through the front doors, which is our next picture. These are the front doors of the building. In the morning, anybody who gets dropped off, walks to school, or rides their bike comes through these doors. If you ride your bike, if you look kind of to the left of the picture, you'll see a bike rack there. That's where people park their bikes if they ride their bikes to school. Now, going through the front door, you will come into the lobby. There's some tables here right now because we're doing some work, getting ready to get students their things back. But normally those tables aren't there. So the lobby would be the first thing you would come to when you come through the front doors. To the left of the lobby is the auditorium, and to the right of the lobby is our main courtyard. Now, this showcase is in the lobby. I wanted to point out the sign up above it that directs visitors to the office. So if you come in the front doors and turn right and head down that hall, you will come to the main office, labeled by a big sign that says main office right next to the door. This is a picture of the office hall right here, and then there's the office door with a big sign. Okay, now this is the north side of the building. It's around the corner from where parents drop students off. This is where the buses drop students off. So anybody who rides the bus to school, this is where you get dropped off. Now, after school, you actually get picked up on the other side of the building. Okay, now from that spot on the side of the building, most students get off the bus and then they head towards the back of the building. They just follow the sidewalk, walk around past these trees and through these doors. These doors are on the side of the building. And if you enter these doors, you will go right into the cafeteria. These are also the doors that students go in and out of to get to the athletic fields and the track. Okay, when you come through these doors, you get to the cafeteria. Normally, you're going to see a lot more tables than this. Right now, we have tables spread out around the building because we're doing some work on getting books turned back in, getting students their stuff back. But normally, this is filled with tables. This is where we serve breakfast in the morning. Also, this is where you'll come for lunch. This is one of the lunch lines right here. At one end of the line, you come and you get your food. There's a couple of choices at lunch every day. And then down at the other end, there's a little keypad down by that cash register where you type in your student number. That's probably similar to what you do now. Okay, this is the lobby viewed from the cafeteria. Okay, this is the courtyard viewed from the lobby. So this is our main courtyard. It's viewable from the office, the cafeteria, the lobby. Art classes will come out here and use the courtyard to do work. Also, sometimes for a PBIS reward, students earn the privilege to come out here and eat lunch. So it's a nice space at the school. On the other side of the lobby, you have the auditorium. There's 4 doors that'll get you into the auditorium here. We do concerts and assemblies in here, plays, musicals. Normally, this is where you would meet for this presentation, in the auditorium. Okay, now on either side of the auditorium, we have 2 hallways. These hallways will take you around back of the auditorium, and that's where B Hall is found. B Hall is where the band and the choir rooms are located. Okay, here's the choir room right here. If you like singing, choir is an elective that you can choose. And here's the band room. Band room is for those who want to play or learn how to play musical instruments. So we have band and orchestra. So Band would be percussion instruments like the drums you see here, brass instruments like the trumpet, woodwind instruments like the saxophone and clarinet. There's a whole bunch that I'm leaving off the list there. And all the orchestras, the stringed instruments. So cello, violin, string bass. Okay, now coming back over by the cafeteria, at the back of the cafeteria, you have the gym hallway. Okay, this door that you see open right here, this is the entrance to the boys' gym. And if you go farther down this hallway, you'll see the entrance to the girls' gym. Okay, so here's looking at the boys' gym entrance. The second set of double doors will actually take you into the gym. If you look through here, you see a door to the right, though. That is the activity room, and that's another space that we use for gym class. This is the activity room right here. You'll notice there's a rock climbing wall in here. It's kind of a long, skinny room, but it's used for games in gym, for just general fitness activities. This is one of the places that you will spend some time in gym class. Okay, this is the boys' gym. If we go through those double doors, this is what the boys' gym looks like. There's a big wall that kind of separates it from the girls' gym. Now that wall gets opened up when the sports teams play after school. Okay, now farther down that same hallway, here's the entrance to the girls' gym. You'll notice that the girls' gym is just the mirror image of the boys' gym. Okay, now these pictures are your boys and girls locker room. Students get to the locker rooms through their respective gyms. So you go through the boys' gym to get to the boys' locker room, and you go through the girls' gym to get to the girls' locker rooms. So in addition to having a locker in the hallway, if you have gym class, which you'll have for half the year in most cases, although in music it's every other day gym, you'll have a hall locker and a gym locker. Okay, here's the pool. Students do swim in gym class, so bathing suits are required. Sometimes people are a little nervous about swimming in front of the other gender. You don't need to be nervous about that at Stout because we don't do that. Our sixth grade gym classes are single gender gym classes, so all the boys swim together. The gym teachers are male. All the girls swim together, and the gym teachers are female. Okay, here's the track and the athletic field that I talked about earlier. We do come out here on nice days for gym class, and this is also where the football team practices and plays, soccer team practices and plays, and track practices on this track. But track team goes to other schools for the meets because we have just a small practice track. Okay, now if you continue down that gym hallway, you come to this big open space where a bunch of halls come together. For the purpose of our tour, we're going to call this the Big Hub, and we will see if that name sticks. The Big Hub is where the Gym Hall, C Hall, F Hall, and H Hall all come together. Okay, this is H Hall. H Hall is recognizable by its murals. H Hall is the sixth grade hall. It is almost entirely sixth grade classes. There is one room as you're heading towards the back here that's an elective classroom used by seventh and eighth grade students, but all the rest of the rooms are sixth grade rooms. Okay, this is that elective classroom I was talking about. This is the AVID classroom. AVID is an elective for seventh and eighth grade, so a year from now we'll be talking to you about that. The AVID class focuses on skills that are needed for college. So certain study skills, note-taking skills, ability to speak publicly, ability to collaborate and work with your peers. And the AVID class also looks into certain colleges and finds out more about them as well. Okay, here's two views of H Hall, kind of one view in each direction. So one heading down H Hall and then one when you get to the end looking back. So in H Hall, sixth graders take their math classes, science classes, and ELA classes. So 3 of your 4 core academic classes are going to be on this hall. Okay, here's some pictures of the murals. The murals fall into two different categories. One is kind of the academic category, where you'll see some events from U.S. history, some of the different subject areas like science. And the other category is student life. So you have some of the sports, you have some students studying and reading a book. Looks like this student in this picture is reading The Outsiders, and that is actually what our 8th graders are working on right now. So these are the science rooms. These rooms are a little bit larger than other classrooms. If you look at the picture on the right, Miss Distelrath's room, you'll see long counters running down either side. Those are used for science labs. Mr. Alabakoff's class has those as well. You just don't see it in the picture. Okay, these are the math classrooms that are on H Hall. You have Miss Clemenson and Miss Fernandez's classroom, Miss Robinson's classroom, and Miss Elasri's classroom. Okay, these are the ELA classrooms that are on H Hall. So you have Mr. Melvin's room, Mr. Houle and Miss Dismar's classroom, and Miss Thompson's classroom. At the very end of the hall, you have the team meeting room. This room's used when we need to get large groups of students together or large groups of teachers too. So teachers will do some trainings in here for students. We'll do some testing in here. Academic games meets in here. Sometimes when two classes want to come together and work on a project, this is the place where we'll do that as well. Okay, now coming back out of H Hall, this is the big hub again. And to the left, you can see the start of F Hall. And to the right, you can see kind of the start of C Hall there. For our tour, we're going to turn down F Hall because F Hall is another hall that 6th graders spend some time. Okay, so 6th graders have their social studies classes on F Hall. There are also a few electives that meet on F Hall. 7th and 8th graders, they use the right side of this hall, those classrooms. Those are the 7th and 8th grade science classrooms. So if you're in 6th grade, you'll just be on the left side of this hallway. Okay, 6th graders will have their lockers on either H Hall or F Hall. The lockers on H Hall, they're a little wider. The lockers on F Hall, they're taller and a little bit newer. Okay, now the social studies classrooms are in F Hall. Looking at two of the social studies rooms right here, you have Miss Schulke's room on the left and Mr. Donaldson's classroom on the right. Also in F Hall, we have Miss Martinez's World Languages classroom. World Languages is one of the elective classes that 6th graders can choose from. In World Languages, you learn a little bit about a couple different languages. You learn a little bit about Spanish, French, German, Arabic, and sign language. Ms. Martinez also teaches Spanish for 7th and 8th grade students. Heading down the hall a little bit farther, you have Mr. Cifaldi's computer lab. Another elective that 6th graders can choose is keyboarding. Mr. Cifaldi teaches that. For 7th and 8th grade students, he also teaches computer applications. And we also offer a class called Multimedia Exploration, which he has taught in the past. Okay, when you enter any classroom, you're going to notice two posters. Now, we're going to talk with you about that a little bit more, both this spring in another video and in the fall when you come to school then. These posters are up everywhere because we take Falcon Pride very seriously at Stout. Okay, now, when you get to the end of F Hall, you'll turn the corner onto G Hall. G Hall is the 7th grade hall. 7th graders take ELA, math, and social studies on this hall. Remember, the science rooms are back on F Hall. But also on G Hall is the Media Center, and you will spend some time in the Media Center. It's about halfway down this hallway on the right side of the hall. Here's the entrance to the Media Center, and then also what it looks like when you step right inside the doors. We have a second courtyard at Stout that isn't quite as visible, but from the Media Center, you get a really great view of that other courtyard. Okay, here's some other views of the Media Center. It's a really big room, as you can see from the one shot. And then also I put the desks that our media specialists will be at when you need to check out your books. Now, usually students will go to the Media Center once a week with their ELA classes to check out books. Okay, so when you get to the end of G Hall, now you're kind of back towards the front of the building. This is D Hall, and D Hall is the 8th grade hall, but there is one elective class on this hallway that you might end up being in. That is the technology class. The technology lab is about halfway down this hallway. 8th graders, they have their ELA math and social studies classes on this hall. Remember that their science classes were back on F Hall too. So let's head to the middle of this hall, and we're at the technology lab now. Ms. Fulton teaches the technology classes. In technology class, students learn how to design and build things. Here's views of the 2 main work areas for this class. The picture on the left is the shop area, so you'll see some of the shop tools in the back. In 6th grade, we don't get into using those a whole lot. It's mainly hand tools. But in the 7th and 8th grade classes, they do use the power tools more. And then the right side is the computer lab, and that's where some of the design work occurs. Okay, heading down to the end of D Hall, there's another larger area where hallways come together. For our tour, we're going to call this one the Little Hub. There are 3 hallways that come together here. You have C Hall and D Hall, and then the office hallway. Okay, now this is C Hall. We did catch a glimpse of it down from the big hub at the other end earlier, but now we're looking at it from the front of the school. So the art room is on C Hall, and that's a room that you may be in. And 6th graders typically would take C Hall to get back to their lockers and their classes if they're coming from art or technology. Okay, here's the art room. We got a picture of the art door. Notice that it is very brightly decorated, and then there's the art room on the right. It's a big space with lots of room to spread out and work. Okay, across the hall from the art room on C Hall is our school social worker's office. This is Miss Nasser's office. Miss Nasser is a great person to talk to if you're struggling with anything at school and want someone to talk to. Okay, now back in the little hub. Now we're looking down that hallway that goes down the front of the building. This is the office hallway. The office hallway is technically A Hall, but I've never heard anybody call it A Hall before. But I imagine after this, a few of you might. On A Hall, or the office hallway, you'll find the counseling office, the restorative center, and the main office. They are all on this hallway. So the first thing you'll come to is the counseling office. It's about halfway down. Our school counselor has his office here, a school psychologist, speech teacher, and our student responsibility technicians all have offices here. The restorative center is connected to the counseling office. Mr. Baydoun is one of our student responsibility technicians. He works here. Mr. Baydoun works with students when they are having trouble making positive choices. So if you make a choice that's not so great in class, you might spend a little time talking about that choice with Mr. Baydoun. Okay, if we continue down A Hall, we'll get back to the main office. That's where my office is. Our assistant principal, Mrs. Faraj, has her office there. Our community liaison, Ms. Al-Hassan, has her office there. And our secretaries all work in the main office as well. So here's what it looks like when you come in the doors. If you ever come down to the office, we ask that you come up to the counter and wait patiently for one of the secretaries to see what you need. We also want to remind all students always that if they're coming to the office, they need a hall pass from their teacher because your teachers need to know that you're down at the office and not in their classroom. So we ask you to get a hall pass first. Okay, here's the 3 secretaries' desk on the other side of the counter. You have Miss Salome, Miss Rabadi, and Miss Zahim. This is Miss Faraj's office. And this is my office. All right, so thank you for joining us on our virtual building tour. We'll be sharing more presentations soon. If you have any questions about anything, this building tour, or anything else, please feel free to email myself or Mrs. Faraj with any questions. Our email addresses are on the bottom of this slide. Okay, we hope to see you all soon. We hope your families are safe and healthy, and look for more presentations coming from us real soon.